Fellas, we got some more drama in the locker room of AEW pertaining to MJF, Britt Baker, and MJF's girlfriend, Alicia Toot. So basically, this is a whole wild incident that led to the suspension of Britt Baker. What happened is Britt Baker was kind of talking about maybe MJF, and just criticizing him in some way. We still don't know exactly what she said, but, you know, walls have ears. There were other women there, and somehow Alicia Toot heard about it, brought the news to MJF. They had a bit of a heated argument right before MJF's big match with Ospreay, if I'm not mistaken. And this argument, funnily enough, to me it's funny anyways, ended up like this. Shout out to ProWrestlingNews.co. So, Wrestle Purists reported the incident happened right after MJF's match with Ospreay that opened the show. Fightful's report noted the argument resulted in MJF punching a wall before his hour-long match. So, my man was so mad that he was just leaving holes in the walls. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. The fact that MJF and Alicia Toot are together is kind of crazy to me too, because didn't MJF have his fiance? Why did they break up? What's going on? This whole thing to me, fellas, seems like a script from a high school play. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Aren't you all grown men and women? Isn't this a professional wrestling company? That's a rhetorical question. I think Brian knows what I'm talking about. But Kenny,
these things happen backstage all the time. WWE wrestlers may keep it under wraps and stuff, but there's a lot of wrestlers in WWE who don't like each other. I think The Miz or somebody said that, but it is what it is. Beefs happen in wrestling, but in this case, it seems like Britt Baker's always involved in something. Ooh. So I guess she thinks like, I was signed to AEW first, so you're not going to come in here and step on everybody else. From what I understand, she stepped to Alicia Toot for telling MJF what was going on. Sounds like we're on the gossip hour, y'all. But she's been going at it with Thunder Rosa before as well. So this is not the first time she's been into something. So I think Britt Baker might be the big issue here. I was talking about this with somebody on X. The guy was like, Britt Baker's not the problem. If you it's Alicia Toot, why would you tell MJF that the girls were talking about him? Like, this is her boyfriend. If your girlfriend hears somebody talking bad about you, real life, you tell her like, yo, these people are in here saying all kind of stuff about you. And that's a live image of MJF when he got in the car. But I will tell you this, kiddo. We heard Britt Baker, Miss Brittany, got suspended over this.
Yep.
And I think they said the suspension would last from 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I'm going to just drop this off right here, and we'll get to Brian. But I think what it sounds like is Tony Khan picked MJF's side over Britt Baker.
Ooh.
And that kind of plants a seed for Britt Baker to leave and go to WWE.
Brian? Be even worse.
Oh, man. Somebody told me, bro, the problems end when CM Punk leaves. CM Punk left how long ago? A year ago?
He's about to start problems in the E.
You know what I'm saying? So we are a year in CM Punk and not in AEW, and problems are still going. So it just turns out CM Punk is not the problem. Mind blown, dog. Mind blown. But I get that MGF is the biggest star of the company, but I do have a problem with that, right? He barged into the women's locker room and started or made an altercation bigger than what it was allegedly. In the women's, allegedly, in the women's locker room, according to reports and all that. And these are very, very reputable sources. So I do believe it, even though it's allegedly. So if you ask me, I think both of them should have been suspended. And I don't think MJF should have got saved out of this one, bro. Like, I don't care how mad I am, bro. That don't give me the right to barge into a women's locker room where a woman could be potentially naked or whatever the case is, bro. Like, you have to have self-constraint, and I feel like that's wrong, flat out. I don't care what you were mad at, how mad you were mad at. There is a type of respect that should be in that locker room, and I don't think MJF followed that.
To your point, Sammy Guevara and I think Andrade went at it. Both were suspended. These two went at it. MJF is good. So I don't know what's going on there either, and that's a pretty good point.
Come on, fellas. Think about Alex Riley and John Cena. How many people did John Cena bury?
Too many to
What
count.
what does that got to do with anything, though?
The point is this: this is wrestling culture. This is not just like AEW doing this. I mean, this is wrestling culture. Your top guys, you protect them. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, when the top guy does something wrong, and somebody else is along there with him, the other guy got to get up out of here. Your top guy stays. I mean, we've seen this time and time again.
Wouldn't you
100%.
argue that Britt
I
Baker is
agree.
one of your top girls, though?
Is she? I mean, she hasn't wrestled in like a year.
The thing is, Britt Baker has been kind of replaceable, if you ask me. I mean, you got Mercedes, like, that you can easily put her in her spot if she's not already in her spot. MJF, like, I don't think nobody can kind of replicate MJF. So we're kind of at a point where it's like, all right, who is it, Britt or MJF? And again, I just feel like neither were right in this situation. Like, if you're complaining about TV time, that's kind of a you problem. Like, I don't know. I mean,
A lot of
that's
wrestlers
just
do
how I
that.
feel about it. I mean, not gonna lie, bro. An hour match on a 2-hour show, like, yeah, that's hell. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty big deal, but it's part of the business, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna put MJF in there with Will Ospreay for 10 minutes. At least I hope you wouldn't if you are gonna go out and have a full blown match. So I get it, but I don't know, man. A lot of people, like Kenny said, were blaming Alicia, and I don't blame her one bit, bro. If somebody
Whoa.
Oh, you I guess you had to edit that out.
Yeah,
You
he's
went
getting
mute on us.
censored. Yeah. Oh, Brian,
You
your
went mute.
microphone got cooked.
Yeah, y'all.
But-
Brian's cooked right now, but I mean,
I mean, what he
kiddo.
was saying was correct, though. Yeah, he
Yeah.
unscrewed the button, I think. But look at this. August 27, 2000. What the hell is this? Hold on. All right, Brian's back with us. Everything is good. Kenny's showing us our water bowl. Here's the thing. As that's happening, here's the correct date that I wanted to show you guys. Sunday, August 25th. This is when All In is happening. Apparently, you know, we were supposed to get this big Britt Baker match at this date. But the problem is, if she's suspended for 2-3 weeks, the build-up, you can say goodbye. So, I mean, I already forgot who she's like feuding with completely. Was it Mercedes Moné? I don't know. But this
Mercedes
certainly,
Moné.
there you go. This is certainly gonna put a big, you know, asterisk on the whole build-up and kind of devalue the whole match too. I mean, is this such a big deal that you couldn't wait until after All In to suspend Britt Baker? It just seems like stuff like this makes me think
right.
AEW is hopeless.
Oh boy, here we go. Now we're going with the big old overblown takes. But you're right though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. These are like two of the biggest women in the division. So you want to have a good build for this match. And suspending her for 3 weeks, it might not have been the right decision this close to All In, because what are we gonna get, like 1 week of build before the show, if that? So I don't know. I think it was pretty extreme. It had to be a bad scene backstage, and MJF had to say, suspend her now. And that's pretty much what Tony did. So,
Okay.
oh man, I don't know.
I guess Britt Baker is going to WWE. This is
Who
what I'm
WWE for Brittany Baker.